Welcome to a new In the Mail, the series that will touch both your passion for electronics and your bank account at the same time. A quick update for those that are interested: most packages are now coming in bundled. They are routed through some EU country like Germany or the Netherlands before getting here, so I'm no longer charged double VAT. So that's good, but things have slowed down considerably during past month, but that's because it's a peak shipping season. Let's start the mailbag with this tiny PIR motion sensor switch. So this little guy is rated for 12 volts up to 2 amps load. So it's got an input, you supply 12 volts to that, and it acts like a switch for the output with a 2 amp load capability. It comes with these connectors, which makes me think it's meant to be used as part of LED installations, maybe for custom furniture or cabinets, because it has this mounting bracket, and that's probably how I am going to use it to light up this warm white LED tape that I have built into a piece of furniture. Now this is rated for indoor use only, so don't go using this outdoors, as water will get in and corrode the electronics inside. Same as usual, links for all of the items shown in this video will be placed in the description below the video, and while you're down there, why not smash that like button, because it really helps increase the chances of this video being seen by more people. It's just how the algorithm works. Next up, I have some transparent heat shrink. Well, this one is a bit yellowish but still transparent, and I needed some of this recently, so I got two different thicknesses. Sometimes you just want to be able to see through the heat shrink part, or you might just want to insulate some metal rod without adding any color. So the easiest way to do that is to use some transparent heat shrink. This video is sponsored by PCBWay.com, a professional PCB manufacturer with high quality, quick turnaround times and affordable prices. They offer a complete range of services from PCB manufacturing, PCB assembly to 3D printing, CNC and injection molding. And right now they're running this promotion with discounts on all of their products and free discount coupons, so check it out, the link is in the description below. Next up, I got a couple more of these SA818 UHF complete walkie-talkie modules and the associated small duck antennas that fit the board that I designed recently in Voltlog 385. If you haven't seen that video, I built this UHF repeater for an Echolink based network, and I could basically get almost unlimited range with this repeater, resulting from its portability when coupled with a mobile phone in access point mode. I still have some PCBs left, and I figured I should populate those as well and offer them to people who are interested, so drop me an email if you'd like one. Otherwise, if you'd like to order these parts yourself, check out the links I've placed in the description below. Next, I ordered some of these self-tapping screws. They are small sizes, probably perfect for my ESP32 floor heating controller. If you remember Voltlog 383, I use these DIN rail enclosures, and I need a way to fix the PCB to the bottom plate, which has these mounting posts designed for self-tapping screws. Now I'll see which one of these fits the enclosure best, and I'll probably order some more, as there are a lot of people signed up on the wait list for the valve controller on my Tindie store. By the way, I should have a batch of those ready soon, but my PCBs are stuck in customs and I have no way of speeding that up. Next up, I found this really interesting adapter board on AliExpress, and it comes from this shop or company which is called WITMotion. And apparently these guys specialize on building various sensor boards, but they also have this module available, which is a USB to CAN converter. And the price was very attractive, to the point where I thought this is some kind of a scam, because these converters are usually upwards of $20, but this one was about half of that. And I figured I would try to get one, and at first I thought it's going to be just the CH340 chip on here, and that was the main reason it is so cheap. But then if you turn it around on the other side of the board, you discover this HK32F103 ARM microcontroller, which is basically a clone of the very popular STM32F103 that is now unavailable, and the associated CAN interface chip, which is this little guy in an SO8 package. Now, what's nice is that these guys even offer some software to go with this module, and I think that's pretty cool, and it makes it worth to buy the module from them, because they invest some resources into the software as well. So check this out, I'll put a link in the description below the video. Next up, I got myself one of these pump air wedges, and not sure if that's the correct naming for this. Please let me know in the comments if it's supposed to be called differently. But the purpose of this is to use this air pillow that you can manually pump through a one-way valve to increase its volume. Now, since this is built from a tough membrane, it should allow you to wedge some really heavy stuff for a couple of centimeters. Think of a door, for example. You could wedge this under a heavy door and push it up a couple of centimeters. So those kinds of applications. I just figured it would be useful to have something like this. It was fairly inexpensive, so I got one. They do come in different sizes, so I believe this one is 6.5 inches. You just have to pick the one that would suit your needs best. Next, I got myself a couple of these short USB Type-C cables from Baseus and Ugreen. These are my two favorite brands for cables. They are always high quality, and I plan to use these for powering Raspberry Pis or other similar stuff inside the multimedia cabinet. So I'm getting closer to organizing my multimedia stuff, which includes this fiber optics router, my wireless router, my Raspberry Pi running Home Assistant, plus a few additional smart home related stuff into a nice cabinet. And to keep the wire clutter to a minimum, I will be needing some of these short USB cables. Now, if you're wondering how it looks right now, it's just a big mess of wires, but it should get better soon. I also have ideas for building this USB power supply, something that would take in a higher voltage like 20 volts from maybe a laptop power brick and output something like 4 USB Type-C ports, all capable of at least 3 amps, or not necessarily USB Type-C ports, maybe even USB Type-A ports, so that you could use it to power multiple Raspberry Pi 4s without any risk of brownout. Maybe I'll design something like that soon. What do you think? Would that be useful? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, links for these cables are in the description below. Next, I got myself a set of these red anti-static Ziploc bags, and at least that's what they claim in the product description, that these contain some anti-static composites, but we'll never know. I got these to use as packaging for the small modules like the can light that I sell on Tindie. I also use a lot of the static shielding bags that I get from my electronic components deliveries, and I don't know how people on the receiving end feel about that. I feel good about recycling those bags. I just hope people are not offended for receiving a module they just purchased on Tindie in one of those ESD bags. But even so, I sometimes run out of those, so I needed some spares, hence why I got these. So here is a great tip for you guys. Maybe some of you are already using this, in which case you would know what this is. If not, well, this is called a seam ripper, and it's probably typically used for sewing type activities, for ripping seams, stitches, that kind of stuff. But we can use this on the electronics bench for something else. Have you ever needed to slice an insulation on the long side of a cable? Because I had, and the quickest tool that you'll probably reach for is a knife, but that carries the risk of also damaging the wire insulation inside the cable. Now, with such a seam ripper tool, because it has this small blob of epoxy insulating the blade that runs on the inside, it will protect the wires while at the same time cutting the insulation with the sharp blade. And this works beautifully. Let me show you a quick example. So this is like a multi-way data type of cable. So you'd slide in the insulated part of the blade on the inside, and then you just push this and you cut through the insulation. And it works beautifully. As you can see, now the soft aluminum foil inside is undamaged, and that's very sensitive. If you would cut this with a blade, you'd most certainly at least cut the aluminum foil. So get yourself a couple of these, because they are very inexpensive and very useful. And the best thing about it is that it doesn't work for just a single thickness of wire. It doesn't matter what the thickness of the cable is, it will still work. As usual, links for this will be in the description below the video. I also got one of these small plastic measure cups, and this one is for 30 milliliters, and it can be useful to have a small plastic cup like this for various jobs on the workbench. A quick example for something I recently did would be cleaning of a particular chip or connector inside a bath of flux cleaner or IPA. You don't want to waste a lot of your cleaning solutions, but still you want the small part to be submerged into that liquid, so this would work great for something like that, and it even comes with its own small cap. So I'll probably order another couple of these. Next, I have an Ikea product, which I don't do very often on the Mailbag, but hi to all my Swedish viewers, and this is a PM2.5 sensor from Ikea, and this is the name of the sensor. I believe it's available worldwide, and Ikea designed this to be like a visual indicator of PM2.5 status. So if we look into the manual, there are some LEDs on the face. It's barely visible right now that it's lighting up green. I have some very bright lights here, but here's what the manual says. It's green from between 0 to 35 PM2.5 particles, and you can see the other colors as well. My plan is to convert this to a Wi-Fi enabled PM2.5 sensor, maybe using Tasmota, and integrating this with Home Assistant via MQTT. I've seen a teardown of this sensor, and it appears it's using one of those integrated PM2.5 sensors with a digital UART output. Now that is an open invite to hacking, and I'm pretty sure I can get in there and solder an ESP8266 module to turn this into a Wi-Fi enabled PM2.5 sensor. I'll probably get started working on that after I finish editing this video, so expect to see that video soon. In the meantime, you could maybe order yourself one of these and smash the like button on this video to send me some feedback, or leave a comment below, your choice. And this is my last item in today's video. This is a Freescale BDM protocol programmer / debugger emulator over USB. Now, Freescale obviously was acquired by NXP a while ago, so this is either new old stock or it's some kind of a clone, and judging by the missing sticker on the back, could be a clone. I don't really care about that if I can get the job done. BDM stands for background debug mode, and I don't have any experience with that, but this was advertised as capable of programming HCS08 and HCS12 microcontrollers from Freescale, and let's quickly take a look inside before telling you what I plan to do with that. Now this is how the board looks inside, and once again, I don't know if this is an original or not. If you have one of these original programs for Freescale, maybe you can compare with the picture shown here and let me know in the comments if you found any differences. But the plan with this is that I need to program one of those HCS12 microcontrollers, which is the processing unit in one of these VW parking sensor assist module. And this one, specifically from the 2009 models, has a specific weakness where it can get its memory corrupted when there are voltage fluctuations. And that's exactly what happened to this module. It got its memory corrupted when the battery died, so it no longer talks on the CAN bus, and I'm gonna try to revive it. Well, we'll see if that's possible with one of these Freescale programmers, and maybe I'll do a separate video on the subject. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested in seeing that. Same as always, links for all of the products shown in this video will be placed in the description below, so do check them out. That was all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget you can support the channel on Patreon with as little as $1 per month, or you can simply hit that like button, which is free and helps a lot. I'll be seeing you next week.